SNP completed a clean sweep of Glasgow's seats in a spectacular victory across Scotland for Nicola Sturgeon's party. All 7 Glasgow seats were taken with increased votes and majorities for the party. It reclaimed Glasgow North East from Labour, which it lost 2 years ago. As soon as the results across Scotland which saw the SNP win, seats' attention turned to demands for a second referendum on independence. Nicolas Sturgeon said it was an endorsement for Scotland deciding its own future. At the Glasgow election count at the SEC Partick Grady was first to be declared in Glasgow North around 3:40 am. Around 4:15 am Stewart McDonald was declared the MP for Glasgow South. In between the party took the seats in North West, East, North East, South West, and Central. Ms Sturgeon said, "I accept that Boris Johnson after this election has a mandate to take England out of the European Union, but he does not have a mandate to take Scotland out of the European Union. And I have a mandate, a renewed, refreshed, strengthened mandate to offer people in Scotland the choice of a different future. It is then up to people in Scotland what choice they make. I don't pretend everybody who voted SNP yesterday will necessarily support independence, but there is a clear endorsement Scotland should get to decide our future and not have it decided for us." Candidates all echoed their party leader and said that it was a mandate for a second independence referendum. Stewart McDonald said, "This is 7 out of 7 in Scotland's largest city. In what is clearly a good night for the SNP across Scotland. But it is bittersweet with a Tory majority government across the UK. England voted for Brexit while Scotland has voted for a second independence referendum. It has elected the SNP as custodians of our European spirit. We go to Westminster as Glasgow the Remain voting city, the Yes voting city, to ensure Scotland will take its place as an independent country in the EU." Mr MacDonald then urged his fellow SNP activists to keep the heat. The big campaign is coming and that's the one that counts. Labour politicians in the city said that the SNP message had pivoted from lock Boris Johnson out of Downing Street to immediately become the campaign for a second referendum. Humza Yousaf, Scottish Justice Secretary, said, "It means the mandate, for a second referendum, is strengthened. We always had a mandate. It now means the unionist parties, the Tories, Labour and the Lib Dems can no longer claim there's no mandate. The First Minister will be making the request for a Section 30 order and it would be undemocratic for it to be refused." Asked about a Plan B if Boris Johnson says no, Mr Yousaf said, "I'm not going to hypothecate. The mandate is there. If Boris Johnson is going to ignore this and stick to for more on this story, visit the news article link.